We've got an unfair situation. Since 1920, interior states have kept 50% of the oil, gas, and coal production revenues they generated on federal land within their borders, and there is no cap on the total amount they can keep. Coastal states have not benefited from this same partnership. Since the federal government started collecting revenues from them in the early 1950s, they have received virtually nothing back from the $211 billion taken from their shores. Consider how these two states, one interior, one coastal, were treated in 2011. Of the $2.1 billion Wyoming sent to the federal treasury, it kept nearly $1 billion to invest in its schools, roads, and other infrastructure. But Louisiana, which sent $5.7 billion, more than twice that of Wyoming, received just $26.7 million. Pretty unfair, right? Well, thankfully, there's a fairer way to act that will bring justice to coastal states and create jobs for America. The FAIR Act builds on the unprecedented success of Go Mesa that Senator Landrieu in Congress passed in 2006. That bill established revenue sharing for the oil and gas producing states in the Gulf. The FAIR Act will gradually lift the arbitrary cap placed on the amount Gulf states can receive. It will also accelerate the payments to when the FAIR Act becomes law. It expands the federal government's partnership with other coastal states that want to produce energy in the outer continental shelf. And it will share the revenues generated with states that produce any form of energy, whether it is oil and gas, wind or wave, onshore or offshore. That sounds a bit fairer, but why do we need justice for the coast? The Gulf contributes to the U.S.'s energy security and economic vitality. 1/3 of domestic seafood is produced in the Gulf. It drains 40% of the North American continent. And the oil and gas produced off its shores fuels cars, heats homes, keeps the lights on, and creates hundreds of thousands of jobs. To keep doing all of these critical things, coastal communities deserve a fairer partnership with the federal government to make their communities more resilient. The revenues kept in Louisiana under the FAIR Act will allow it to rebuild its eroding coast, protect its coastal communities from storms, create jobs, and preserve a unique and treasured culture. That's a bit fairer, a whole lot smarter, and a much better way to create jobs for America.